Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about how to develop your self-esteem. A friend asked me how could she develop her very low self-esteem. First and foremost, I feel that it is vital to develop self-awareness about who you are as a person. If you don't even know who you are as a person, what your values are, and why you think the way you do, then how can you even begin to think about the concept of developing your self-esteem? Self-esteem is an outcome of being able to acknowledge your true worth. Healthy or lack of self-esteem begins with either how you felt valued or not valued by significant people in your life when you were a child. It makes sense that if you were always taught that it's okay to have your own unique opinions and you were encouraged to talk about how you felt or had your opinions heard and respected by your family members, particularly your parents, then as a consequence, you'll realize that your opinions are worth listening to, and you will gain not only respect, but acknowledgement of yourself as a unique individual. This in turn will create and result in you gaining healthy self-confidence and self-worth within yourself and knowing this without arrogance. If you were brought up in a healthy, loving family, they would also be helping you by making you aware and teaching you your personal areas of growth that you could work on. However, some of us are not that fortunate, as perhaps we were never truly valued as far as our opinions were concerned, or worse still, we were not given permission or allowed to express ourselves freely, either due to family traditions, culture, or intergenerational belief systems and practices, such as the saying that children are only meant to be seen and not heard. This type of conditioning will cause suppression of feelings and emotions. If this is coupled with strong verbal statements that when you made mistakes, that you were called stupid, dumb, idiotic, useless, and will never grow up to become anything, obviously you will believe this rubbish and grow up not realizing or being aware of your true worth. It will result in confusion within yourself, and because you were not validated, you probably grew up always questioning your thoughts and decisions, never being sure of your inner intuitive guidance, because there was never enough value placed on your perceptions and feelings of worth. In turn, this will result in self-doubt, lack of awareness of oneself, and obviously very low self-esteem, amongst many other types of negative thinking. People who lack self-esteem often become victims of narcissists who prey on them as they find it easy to manipulate and control them. Narcissistic partners often make things worse as they reinforce a person's low self-esteem. Narcissistic partners will reiterate to their low self-esteem partners that they need their narcissistic partners in their lives because without them, they are incapable of surviving and incapable of doing anything worthy. So the abuse goes on, and the longer people with low to no self-esteem stay submissive to their partners, the more they lose themselves and see themselves as failures. Even when they do something that they are naturally talented in, which may be validated by others, it's almost never believed, as there is no self-worth. Understandably, the current toxic environment will reinforce the old environment, which has been long conditioned in them, and reiterate to the person that they are worthless. So to understand why you lack self-esteem is to become aware enough to ask, where do you think this perception came from? Childhood? And if so, try to remember how and when you felt like your emotions or anything you did were never valued or validated, and by whom. This will then help you to realize where, when, and how this all started. I often say to people around me, when you lack awareness of something, it's fine to carry on in the same way because you don't know any better. But when you become aware and still do not consider change and don't place value on the new knowledge that you have attained, then you only have yourself to blame for life continuing the way it does for you. Blaming others for your past may be satisfying and a way out to justify your state of being or used as a great excuse for how you see yourself now, but it doesn't help if it stops there and you are just too stubborn, lazy, or afraid to change. Once you become an adult and acquire the knowledge that was absent before you were responsible for your own welfare, you are then accountable for your own happiness, health, job satisfaction, whatever. Change starts and ends with you. You need to develop the courage to discover another perspective for your truth and to get help if you need in order to change your circumstances. To develop your own self-esteem starts with asking yourself what you are good at, or if you don't know, ask people who you trust and get them to tell you what they see. And often you will hear repeated traits about you which may surprise you or even shock you. Yes, even positive great things about you can result in shock, as you may have never known how others regard you, or just because hearing anything positive about yourself sounds alien to you. The next step is processing what now you are aware of and learning to trust and believe that it's true that you do have these wonderful talents or qualities, and then to learn to embrace these positive qualities and to start believing in you. This will eventually lead to a higher self-esteem and more confidence in your own abilities. Once the positive belief systems are accepted by you, you need to place faith and trust in yourself to the extent that you now are aware of who you are, and if your narcissistic partner begins to see changes in you and start to try to reinforce negativity or gaslight you, which they will, inevitably as you grow stronger, the more they will do this. So from here on, your healthy new self-awareness and higher, more developed self-esteem should be able to negate their words because you have now become more empowered. Then it's totally up to you to either continue this new journey of self-discovery, leading to a more positive outcome for you, or to go backwards. When I reiterate to people that the choice is actually theirs, it is. There is no magic wand or formula to change you. The magic lies within you to change yourself. Trust me when I say that the benefits outweigh everything else, but you need to make these changes yourself. And because it's a new pattern of belief, it may take a while to be rooted inside you, but you need to have faith that you are transitioning, and the new you may be able to make new decisions, which a lot of people who have kept you down for whatever purpose in the past will not be happy. So, what can you do? Well, you can start by cutting ties and being with people who value you, who you feel safe enough to be yourself, knowing that you will not be judged. It is often the people who are arrogantly confident and cannot accept differing opinions or decisions respectfully who are actually very insecure within themselves, which is the reason why they cannot allow others to thrive, as they feel that if someone else thrives, then they lose or are less adequate. Once you know yourself, warts and all, if you are keen on a journey of self-development, you will be humble enough to realize that you will not always be right, and that everyone will make mistakes and will keep learning till the day they die. Truly confident people are respectful and confident enough to learn from others and admit when they are wrong and to give credit when credit is due. They will not feel as though they have lost anything, but in turn will feel good that they are able to acknowledge others' successes and to celebrate it with them with no feelings of jealousy at all. We are all born with our own unique qualities and gifts, and we need to recognize that we do not and cannot embody everything ourselves, and there is always enough room for everyone to shine accordingly. Putting someone down to make yourself feel good is not confidence. It shows instead a total lack of self-confidence. So if something has happened that has caused you to question your self-esteem or lack of it, it has happened for a reason, as it may be the time for you to reach realization within yourself and for you to make more beneficial choices. And through your choices, your life will ultimately become more rewarding. And perhaps you might like to consider how to live to your fullest potential. But that's a topic for another day. I do urge you to at least consider what I've had to say, and perhaps to try to start to validate yourself, and hopefully your self-esteem will grow and improve. As always, I'm keen on hearing your feedback and comments. How does this talk relate to you? Does it explain things better? Is it of any help? If you like what you heard, please let me know by liking, by sharing, and subscribing to my baby channel. If you've come this far, I thank you for listening, and I hope that whatever you are going through, that you realize that life is a journey of lessons and opportunities for growth, no matter how painful and unfair that it can feel at times. So in the meantime, do take care, and I hope that this talk has helped you in some way. Bye for now.